Call the Trails and Paths meeting to order at 9:03 a.m. Mary, you can hear us? Great. All right. All right, so we will do roll call. I am here. Gary? He's walking in. Joe is not here. Barb? Ellie is not here. Susan?
Here.
Jeff? Here. Brenda?
Here.
Okay. We will go to oral communications for any items not on the agenda. Go ahead, Teresa.
I just wanted to follow up with my action item from the last meeting. So I did bring up the Shady Trail Parklet at our Conservation Committee meeting. And so it is now on radar of the Open Space Conservation Collaborative Subcommittee. Just wanted to follow up.
For specifically for management of mowing.
For mowing. Yes.
Okay. Any other oral communications? I don't see any other. Let's see, it says we have 3. Gary, can you check to see if there's any hands or anything?
Hands up, we have 3 people. Line.
Okay. All right, let's move to old business. We have a copy of the minutes in the packet from last meeting.
Excuse me, I had my hand up.
Okay.
Thank you very much. My name is Caroline Bertongen. There were 2 issues that I wanted to bring up. I brought it up to the building department yesterday. There is we don't know what exactly is going to be built, but it's on Hillbrook Trail. It's the first house that is on the corner of Hillbrook and Saucil. And I think if this is an ADU or a pool house, it's way too close to the fence. So that's one thing. I hope you can check it. Another neighbor was saying this is wetland and is really concerned that there's another project being built there. Another thing is I wanted to know if Woodside Priory will have to add non-slip surface on their new entrances. Everybody else in Portola Valley has to do it, and I don't understand why Woodside Priory has not done it. They have not done it for the main entrance, and I did not see it for the new entrance.
Okay, just to make sure that I understood what you're talking about, the first issue is the construction project on Hillbrook Drive. Is that correct?
No. It's in the back of Hillbrook Drive, but so it's adjacent. It's actually on the trail. It's adjacent to the fence that is on the Hillbrook Trail.
Okay,
and there's that there was always a certain setback.
And there's right. We're having trouble hearing you. It's difficult to hear you. I'm just trying to. So it's a concern about. It sounds like an ADU that is adjacent to Hillbrook Trail.
We don't know if it's an ADU. We just see the framework that is being erected right now. And so
okay, so
I brought it up.
There's construction at Saucil and Hillbrook that you're concerned about?
Yes.
Okay.
On Hillbrook Trail.
Okay, so that's the first one. And then the second one is the non-slip surface on the driveway for Woodside Priory. My understanding is that just hasn't been done yet, but is still on slated to be completed. I think we're going to consult with them on that. So okay. Thank you. Did I capture
it? Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Caroline.
Thank you so much.
All right. Any other hands up or anything?
The hand is up on this now.
Oh, I think just tap on where it says it has the icon with the multiple people on it. Should bring them up.
Thank you.
Yeah, it would show their hands are up.
Yeah,
So
so
yeah,
that's
no hands.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on to the August minutes now.
Actually, can I bring up
Oh,
one thing
yep.
that I noticed?
Yep.
My wife and I were exploring some trails recently and Possum Trail from the beginning of the street on. It seems to be, we were thinking of this as a place to come ride our horses and then go back through the Hidden Valley and all of that. And it looks like first part, the trail is mostly gone and it's just street. Is that a long time order of business that we have been?
You're talking about where Possum ends,
So,
basically.
where Possum hits the street, Westridge out here. So the first part of the actual street is mostly, there is no trail, a little bit, and then it disappears sort of into people's
Yeah.
landscaping, and then I would assume you would go onto the street.
Yeah.
Back on.
I don't know the history, but yeah, that has been that way for quite some time. I don't know if others have.
It has been, it's gotten worse. And it actually, I'm glad you brought it up because it's a blind corner and there's a tree. So if you're in the road, it's not exactly safe. And I don't think it would take that much to get it back. There are all along Possum, there have been trails and then blockages. So then you go on the road and then you go back up on the trail and you go back down on the road. So it's a bit, sticky, but that area, there's no reason that we can't.
So
brush that out.
it's the corner of Westridge and Possum. That's the
Yes.
issue.
Starting from there down to where the gate is at the end of that.
Yeah.
Along the right side where the trail
Yeah.
should be.
Yeah.
There's a number of homes where basically the landscaping is.
Yeah, there's definitely at the end, there's the hedge that is just completely over the trail. And then there's another,
There are a couple other
portion.
places.
yeah,
It's such a magical trail system to go into that.
yeah.
Yeah, that trail is in a road right-of-way easement and the homeowners, I don't want to say it was improper. I don't know what kind of permission they may or may not have had from the town, if they filed for encroachment permits or not, but they landscaped right over the road right-of-way easement, which is generally not permitted.
Mhm.
So they put sprinkler heads and other things in there.
Mhm.
So it's kind of, I remember trying to talk to them about this. I don't know where it ended up, but obviously it's getting worse.
Mhm.
But I think there is recourse the town can take because it is in a road right-of-way easement and the town building codes and ordinances are very clear that you cannot plant in road right-of-ways unless it's approved by the town. You certainly can't put sprinkler systems in them.
Yeah.
So there is recourse if the town wants to pursue it. I don't think most homeowners really understand. In fact, I know I've talked to homeowners who really don't understand what a road right-of-way easement is. And they believe their property goes right to the edge of the road, which technically it does, but the town has control over, depending on the road, certain amount of feet from the edge or from the center line of the road, depending on how the easement was set up. So.
Well, given that
Um,
we have a 2025 committee priority of trail easements, so we add this to your list, not necessarily you can prioritize.
Yeah,
how
I
you
don't know
wanna
there's
engage on
much
it?
that we can do about this. That have to fall probably in the town engineer's bucket, because we don't issue those permits. We don't review those permits. Those are counter permits. So I don't know what kind of recommendation we could make to the town other than to follow their own, building codes and rules. I don't know. It sounded like it was somewhat of a difficult situation when Howard was trying to deal with it. But I have no idea where that got left off. This was years ago, right? This is 4 or 5, maybe 6 years ago. This was noticed. So
So we'll note it on here and then we can talk later about how to
Yeah.
prioritize it, whether we
Talk
just
it
want to have
through.
an initial conversation with the homeowners or something like that, but.
Well, and maybe, Robert can go look at it for sure, but maybe their first step is a letter to everybody along there saying, hey, we just want to let you know because we've had some requests to clear the easement. This is a trail easement and we're going to be restoring it. And then, questions and they can maybe,
Yeah, I think my ask would be that our work list that we have between the town engineer and, sounds really loud.
Yes, the microphones have been fixed and they are quite sensitive, but yes, so you're
Um,
fine.
I think the ask would be that becomes added to our joint work list. If we
Yeah.
have a work list going on, then we add that as an item. And I think it'd be best if that comes from the town rather than the committee.
Yep.
More than likely, and we establish communication with them.
Yep.
As one of our task items.
Sounds good. Yeah. Add it to our list, prioritize accordingly.
Yeah, and since we're speaking about easements, the other thing to remember is with ADUs, if there is an ADU on the Hillbrook Trail, we don't get to review those applications. Those are SB 9 or some type of state ordinance guided review processes where they are not subjective at all. We have no authority to. So I think the SB 9 rule says like 5 feet from the property line or something outrageous like that.
Or Teresa's.
And we will never see an application come across, to this committee for review
Mhm.
because of state law. So there may be very little we can do about things like that.
Well,
Well, there you go.
Okay, so it's, since we need people on the recording to hear that, you say it's, yeah.
No. There's overlapping regulations. It's 5 feet if it's a non-fire rated wall at the perimeter. If it's a fire resistant rated exterior wall of 1 hour, it's down to 3 feet minimum. I would suggest that goes through building and planning. State law does require what we call ministerial approval, depending on the specific use of whether they're using SB 9 or whether they're using various other regulations in this process, SB 10. There's all sorts of state laws. Ministerial approval does, and this is the way the state law reads, does require it to be reviewed in accordance with the rules and regulations that are written at the time of application of the ADU. There is no subjective guidance allowed by the state.
Got it. Okay.
so the property that Gary, you and I were talking about on Savannah's at Mary, the trail that we lost, going to Canyon Trail. So there's nothing we can put in. Okay, yeah. it's separate.
So I want to keep us on task. So we're in sort of oral communications. We've got the Hillbrook and Sawsville issue that's been reported. We have the Possum Trail that's been reported. Any other new topics for oral communications?
This is just something I've noticed over the past couple of days on a trail. Somebody on Golden Oak, the last house on Golden Oak, number 385, which is almost at the bottom, is doing a lot of construction. I don't know if anybody's noticed it, but they're all parked. There are like 3 cars parked on the trail. There are building materials parked on the trail, and there's like a porta potty on the trail. And I kind of want to give them a break because, street parking is really hard there. But on the other hand, I think at some point they need to be reminded, and I think this has been going on for a while. I just kind of noticed it because I was actually walking the trail instead of driving by. So I know that when they apply for these permits to do these things, aren't they told not to park on the trail? Oh, okay.
Yeah. They have to have a parking plan. So I think someone needs to reach out to them and ask them to not park on the trail. I mean, this is a general issue that we have in town where people park on trails. And it's easy to avoid because oftentimes the other side of the street has parking. That particular area
That's
is
very
tough.
dicey. That's why I want
So,
to give them a break because.
yeah. But like particularly if you're on horseback coming down a trail and there's cars in the way, like
Scary.
it's not a good situation. So I think we have to hold the line on no parking on trails. I think it's pretty basic.
And I think it's also worth commending the projects that do it right. So there's a project close to your house, Jeff, on Cervantes. Too much gain. Where they're all parking opposite the trail, and that trail is wide open there. It's so attractive to go park on, and they're doing it right. They're parking on the difficult side of the road. So being a sound guy, that's just too much gain. So I just think it's worth also mentioning when a project does it right, to commend them. And I
Yeah.
don't know whose project that is or who the general contractor is, but they're doing it right.
But yeah, it's the one on Cervantes between
Yeah,
the Shawnee
and
passes.
yeah.
Shawnee and Shawnee, yeah. So kudos to that crew. Okay. Any more oral communications for items not on the agenda? All right. Susan, yes? Oh, okay. All right, August minutes.
To approve.
Susan seconds, all in favor? Okay,
Aye.
all right, unanimous approval. Just tell Joe his, his job. No, I did it. It's good. Okay, trail maintenance review. I got attached to the packet. Pretty straightforward. Any questions on trail maintenance? You guys are having a conversation about Eagle. You, oh,
Is that, are we talking about trail maintenance or the actual trail project? I thought we were.
oh, no, we're just talking maintenance, but that's the trail project. Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, great. All right, so we can move on from 3C or 3B. Anything else? Nothing on trail maintenance. Okay. 3C, trail usage follow-up on e-bikes. I figured we would just have this as a kind of an update to see where we are in terms of who's communicated what to whom.
Yeah, I can give a quick update,
Yeah.
because I did meet with our town manager and have a discussion about this, and I'm kind of in the loop with her communications with the school district. So the county Department of Education put out a toolkit on e-bikes. Did I send that out to the committee? I think I did.
I think I've seen
I
it.
did, and I will do that. I
Yeah.
meant to. I apologize if I discussed so many things, but the toolkit had some inaccuracies in it, which we jumped on and we gave our feedback to the county. And so the school district is asking for additional clarity from the town, which I believe we've given them. So I think as they move forward with their educational and enforcement types of activities, they know what the rules are now. Essentially, no e-bikes are allowed on any town trail right now, even a path, right? Because it's against ordinance. I don't know if this committee will ever take up revisiting that. It should type 1 or type 2 e-bikes be allowed on paths in town. Did we start that effort, or are we going to do it now? I don't. So
Mhm.
I guess it's TBD. I'm certainly not proposing that we do. Although I could think about it. So I did a quick survey at the schools at Ormondale. There's no e-bikes on the rack. I think that's just because of the kids' age. The parents aren't turning them loose on e-bikes, in the first grade, thankfully. At Corte Madera, there's a few, and just a handful. But I think we anticipate that's going to grow. We're also seeing, which I don't know if this is isolated, I'm guessing it is that some of the kids park their type 3 e-bike or their mini bike somewhere close to the school. And then when they get out of school, they walk down to Roberts and they grab it and then they ride home. So I don't know if that's really an issue for us or even the school district, but I'd just be aware that that's going on. I think they know they can't bring that type of vehicle on campus at school, but yet they want to get access to them very quickly after school.
Well, just in practical terms, when school lets out, you can't really ride a bike on the trail anyway, because there's so many kids walking. So
Certainly
it's-
that segment from Corte Madera to Roberts. Right?
yeah. So it's not, I mean, I don't even know that there's anything that needs to be said about that portion.
I don't think.
I think that I think we do probably need to talk about if we're truly going to have safe routes to school and our trails are going to be part of that. If kids are using at least type 1, maybe type 2, I think we'll probably want to have some discussion about whether it's okay to use those on our trails. Given the trends in terms of, that Jeff talked about last time. I don't know that we need to do it now. We should,
Well, that's what I was kind of asking my question, because really what that means is we would allow them on the trails all the time. Because we don't have a mechanism to say you can only use bikes on safe routes to schools during school hours or shortly before, or shortly after. So when we approach the safe route to schools, program that when I was on the committee, I know it happened previously to that. We took the approach that only trails that allow bikes all the time can be parts of the safe routes program. So if that then extends to e-bikes, really what you're saying is we're going to allow e-bikes on these trails all the time or on these paths all the time. So that would, I think, be the basis for discussion.
and the issue there, just so I understand it, the reason why we can't do something where from the hours of 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. and from 2:15, we can't do that because of signage. Robert, you're shaking your head. Why is that not possible?
I believe the concern is not as much of a signage issue as it is a enforcement and policy issue. That I think overall this discussion needs to eventually happen between a lot of various committees in tandem. And I think that right now we already have instituted a maximum speed of 15 miles per hour. I would just advise caution from various committees when they look into this, because it is a fairly intricate issue with state, federal, county now, as we're seeing, along with school districts and our local town. It is possible for us to put up signage and to introduce something into our ordinance saying, recodify our ordinance and municipal code to have a section to create an ordinance saying they are allowed to do something during a certain time. The concern is that the current condition is already encountering various issues, let alone what we've previously seen with our golf cart issue, perhaps on trails and various other things. It's possible. It's just, I very much relate to the issue of whether it's enforceable or not. If we allow it sometimes, whether that would truly be.
Well, I mean, I think that brings up the issue of enforcement. Generally, we don't really have an enforcement mechanism for the rules other than I post on the forum and say, please don't. I think the ranch has brought this up in terms of bikes on trails in the ranch. So it seems that shouldn't be a blocker. Maybe what we can do though is we could put together a subcommittee that can engage on, what we want to do here, because I worry that we're just going to get into a situation where we know that the e-bikes are being used and we're not giving any guidance other than unless we want to make the conscious decision, like we're not going to review it or we're not going to allow them.
Can I just say?
Yeah, go
there-
ahead.
In terms of the easements, legal easements, bicycles aren't allowed on the trails. So that includes e-bikes. I mean,
Well,
you have to
that's
get
the, that's
permission.
the private property easements, the road
Right.
right-of-way easements.
Yeah.
So,
Which are those? Like how many?
Portola and Alpine.
road, portions of Alpine Road, Shawnee Pass.
Yeah. So are we
portions of
only talking
Cervantes.
about those?
Right. We would don't,
This is the can of worms, I think, that you're talking about, is that as soon as you say they're gonna go, oh, I didn't know that you said trails, you can be on these trails. And my concern is safety. Because we all know you have to have a wide, good line of sight for bicycles to, remember, we went through, I think before you came on, through 2 years of hikers and pedestrians complaining about people on the Alpine corridor. Do you remember that? And I went and staked it out for a month to see how many bikes were actually on the trail, and they were on every single day. And hikers I mean, everybody was up in arms. I think it's calmed down a bit, but we're gonna run into that 100%. And somebody's gonna mow somebody down. That's just the way it's gonna be. So, we gotta prioritize safety too. And I mean, yeah, we all have kids, so.
Yeah. I'm not advocating that we make a decision one way or another right now. I think if we just sort of don't have a discussion about it, though, it's not the right approach.
Yeah, I think it's important if we are going to enforce something that we have a ordinance behind us that we can point to, because it's really all we have to enact enforcement. We don't have sheriffs, we don't have, county park rangers or anybody who's going to write them a ticket. So, whatever we decide to do, it should be codified. I think that's the case. I don't see a real big difference, and I don't want to get too much in this, between a class 1 e-bike and a regular e-bike and a kid using it to ride to school. So they can't go over 15 miles an hour, which I think a regular bike can hit that speed going downhill, no problem. But no, I don't think we should consider at all opening up any new trails because of the way they were designed and because of all the issues they have. We know this. We know this just from looking at putting regular bikes on it. We shouldn't open up any new trails to e-bikes, but we probably should talk about safe routes to school. And I think that's what the district is interested in is safety. And, if these kids are going to ride e-bikes to school, what are the rules? What is the town's position on this? And I think from a ordinance perspective is what they've been asking. And if we can clarify that, then great. If we can't, then.
Yeah, I think in the context of safe routes to school, we have to provide some clarification. So that I think we should have a discussion on.
Yeah.
Do we want to put together a subcommittee to look into this, to engage with other committees to sort of see what we can't do, what we shouldn't do? That would be my recommendation on how to proceed.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I don't think this is going to get solved very quickly.
No.
I think this is going to take some time to have discussions with a lot of different stakeholders. I'm not convinced myself, for example, that it's the right thing to do because I don't have that much experience with an e-bike, so I really don't know. But if we put together a subcommittee, then at least we're free to talk about it outside of the Brown Act stuff, and we can, engage with the district, engage with the town, engage with other people without, easily.
Yeah. We have volunteers for a subcommittee.
Yeah, I'll go on it.
I mean, I technically own one. It does not
I know
get
somebody
ridden.
to borrow one from. What about an e-horse? Is that ever going to happen?
Well, a lot of you are equestrians.
So we are saying, well, we know there's certain trails
So,
that.
so Gary has, hold on. I think what we would like to do is have a subcommittee, people who can discuss what the right approach is out, sort of outside of the normal meeting. But a subcommittee is capped at, I think, 3 people.
Yeah, we have
3 people.
9, 3 and 4.
And I guess we can have 4. Yeah. No, we can't have 4. Correct. Yeah. So 3.
Actually, I won't, it doesn't matter. But if you have 9 members on the charter, then it doesn't matter if you fill the other seat or not, I don't think. But I don't think we need 4.
I don't think we need 4. But it probably should be more than just Gary. Anybody want to work with Gary on this?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Gary Barb. All right. So where are we? Okay. We're just on e-bikes. Okay.
Really quick-
Gary, Barb, and Brenda will be on the subcommittee for e-bikes. Did you want to
Really quick,
add?
the subcommittee live under the Trails and Paths Committee?
Yes.
Okay.
There can be some other coming together of the multiple committees, because I know that the bicycle committee needs to be on it. But I think this is just about trail usage.
Yes.
So, and
Yeah, I think
I mean, all we can do is
safe
come
routes.
up with a recommendation. So that's the goal is for Safe Routes to School. This is a subcommittee on e-bikes, on safe routes to school, on trails and paths. I'll get that very clear in the notes. That's the scope.
Thank you.
All right. Wonderful. That is 3C. No sighing. No, there's no sighing. Okay. Capital improvements. Joe is not here, so we can skip D1, D2. Any trails? He's living the life, you know, Italy, Colorado, you know, I guess we shouldn't maybe, you know. All right, D2, any update on trail easements?
No, but I think Robert and I have a meeting in our future when it's the appropriate time.
Okay,
Sorry.
great.
This is new. Oh, there he is. I updated my OS and all kinds of things start happening. But I know Robert's really busy, so when it's a good time, what's on our radar is Stanford screening, or I'm sorry, priority screening, Stanford trail easements, and there was one other one. The missing trail easement on Salsel, which is kind of out of our hands now, but we can talk about that later. But those are the three things that Robert and I will talk about with regards to trail easements.
Should the scoring of the driveway be
I
on
think
there?
Mary's got that in hand, so I
Okay.
don't think that's an issue.
Okay.
Why are you unmuted, Mary?
Do you, you know,
It's asking for a pen to unmute her.
oh, I think we're,
This is way beyond my.
Are we talking about Priory,
There you are.
Priory
Yeah.
Crossing?
priority crossing scoring.
Yeah, they have every intention and a plan for what they're gonna do. I think it's just getting the people, as I told them, just getting the people back out there and doing it.
Okay,
So,
Great.
You know, there's no lack of communication here. It was, I think, it essentially that they didn't have good enough, maybe control of their asphalter, of their paver.
okay,
Because he certainly knew about it going in and yeah.
okay.
I think
All right.
I will check back with him.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, so moving on to D3, site developments. Any news on Hawthorns?
No.
Okay. And then Stanford, no news there. Okay, so community engagement, there's one
Okay, so.
relevant topic.
Okay, community engagement, let's start with the town picnic. That's this coming Saturday. The hours are 11 to 1.
I think it's 11 to 1:30 or 11 to 2. At least
Oh,
2.
11 to 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so I plan on being there. I'm wondering if anybody, it's.
I will be
okay.
there.
Okay, I can be there for pretty much most of the time.
Okay.
Barb told me that she has a banner, so I'm going to go over to her
I'm gonna
house.
bring some of our hike and horse banners,
Great.
or we'll put them up in the back. I think they put up the canopies the night before, right?
I think that's right.
So does that mean you'll come there, at like 10:30 or 11 o'clock to,
To go to the airport and I don't know what.
well, then
time.
why don't I come to your house and
So,
get?
but I can put them up the night before is what I'm saying.
Oh, great. Okay,
Yes,
perfect.
that's great.
We just have to know which is our booth.
I think you can claim one.
We take one.
Mhm,
Okay.
I think so. I think it's probably
We'll-
fine.
We'll take the best.
So the other thing I did in preparation for the town picnic is I contacted Veronica,
Mhm.
our town clerk, and I asked her for 30 maps,
Wonderful.
paper copies, because some people will want to take them. And
Mhm.
sometimes I like to say, here, take a map.
Yeah.
No, they might not want to take one. Anyway, it's kind of a talking point when you're sitting there.
The new
So-
map or the old map?
The
What?
new map or the old map?
Oh, the new,
The new
of
map.
course, the new one.
Yeah,
I mean, I hope is the old one still on the website?
it is. Yeah, the legacy map. Yeah, maybe a quick just map update. The new map should be back on the website because we have updated it to not include one of the trails, the Alpine Canyon Trail that was requested to be removed until we can have a further discussion on that topic.
So she did send me a copy of the map and she said, is this the map? And it looked new to me. And I said, yeah, go ahead.
Yep.
And so I'm hoping that I do have the right map.
I mean,
I-
I'm pretty sure you have the right map. And if you don't,
I'll
take a look and I'll get some new ones.
okay.
Okay. There's also Zots to Tots prior to that, which Mary, horses are allowed. I saw on the,
I'll be there.
all of the communications has been clear that horses are allowed. So, hopefully all of the, people who are helping enforce that understand that, but, you heard it here. Anyone? Anything else?
Yes, so going back to Eagle Trail, I was hoping that maybe we could get a trails project that would involve the town. And I was in touch with both Judd Valino and Helen Shaughnessy of Trail Center. I spoke to Judd about 3.5 weeks ago, and he said that they were going to be meeting around Labor Day or a little bit thereafter to decide on projects. And I didn't hear from them. I figured that maybe they weren't interested in Eagle Trail, but I did write them an email the other day. I think I CC'd you on it.
Yep.
And I haven't heard back from them.
Okay.
So I think that that is probably a no-go. And maybe Robert and I can talk offline about maybe brushing the trail back a little bit to encourage foot traffic a little bit away from the bank.
Sounds great.
Okay, and then there's one more quick item, the town hike. I'd like to do something like that, probably in October, the beginning of November. That's traditionally when we do it. But I'm just wondering if I can have some help with this in terms of if I name a couple of dates, if people can say to me, yeah, that date would probably work for me, or because I don't want to be doing it all by myself. So I was thinking maybe tentatively October 25th. And also I'm mentioning this to the people who have young children in school. If you can tell me right off, oh yeah, that's the day they're having like some kind of fair at school. I can also clear it with the school, but
Yeah.
I was thinking October 25th might be a nice day.
That looks
or-
good from my perspective. I think if you just pick a day, as long,
You're out of town?
It doesn't,
Okay.
pivotal to this.
Yes, you are. I mean, we
How
need
about-
your
how about,
personality and your input.
how about I will send out a request from the committee for, you send me your candidate dates. Then I'll send it out on BCC and
Okay.
people can get back to me so we don't have a Brown Act issue. And then we can settle it that way.
Sounds great.
Cool.
So I think
Okay.
we're cool.
Okay, that's it on community engagement. There is no new business on the agenda. So,
Can I ask one question?
sure.
That is that, whatever happened with the grant for the scenic corridor on Alpine, Mary?
Oh, I don't know. Mary, do you have an update on that?
I think it's in process and it's gonna happen. I think we don't see that there's a lot standing in its way. And I wanted to get back to Hawthorne's and Stanford just because my name got mentioned in there. I did meet with MROSD about the trails in the historic district of Hawthorne's. And they made it clear to me, and I made it clear to them that we wanted it. That it was on their map that there would be trails through the historic district. Now, whether or not that's just going to be a question of us keeping an eye on it over the years, because it'll be a long time in coming. But it's clear that we need that connection from Alpine Hills to Blue Oaks, made simpler along Los Trancos. So they understand that, and it'll be a long time coming. But they are aware that it's on their map. As far as Stanford is concerned, that's also true. They are 100% aware that they have an obligation to do their trails before they do their construction or they do their business deals. So we just need to keep reminding them and reminding our engineers and our planners that we expect these trails to be constructed before they start construction on buildings.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, no, that's a good update. Yeah, we probably will need to engage the ranch on that connection as well.
Exactly the problem.
So, noting that. Okay, that's all we have on the agenda. Can I get a motion to adjourn? All right, we are adjourned. Susan motioned. Gary seconded at 9:43 a.m. Thanks, everyone.